Or you could run straight into a red sphere. That works too. Yeah, definitely not surprised that this one threw me off. This one tends to do that. So let's try to be a little bit more organized this time. A little bit less haphazard. So we're basically going to go in a line, and then we're going to drop to a different like row, and then go in the line in that section. So for example, we're basically going to keep going. We're going to keep like going straight here until we can't. And then here, now that we've collected everything along this path, once we get to this next section, we should have a red sphere on this end, meaning we'll turn around and then deal with this area. And yeah, we'll just go more sequentially, less, yeah, like chaotically through this area. These are very clever, but I almost feel like they work better with infinite retries, like in this collection, because if you can retry it, it's not as bad. Okay, this is a predicament, actually. Okay, we're not boxed in, so that's something at least. We should be okay, but now I'm trying to figure out where to go next. Let's actually go this way, collect the final rings at least. But yeah, there's a lot of sets of just like 2 spheres by themselves, which is kind of tricky to deal with. When they're all grouped together, I feel like it's a lot easier, for obvious reasons of like there's less that you have to worry about. Again, these like 2 sphere jumps are like scary, but doable if you time it properly, and I bet we'll have to do more of those, to be honest, because again, I don't think I'm really routing this properly. Case in point, another one there, and another one. We're fine for now. Now we have a few more to go. Actually, if we turn here, we should be good. I think I counted enough rows. From here, we should actually be able to find the final ring we need without too much trouble. I think it's pretty close by. Again, this is why I tend to save rings for Marble. By the way, this enemy is actually glitchy in this version. You notice all the debris falling down? It's supposed to stop eventually. It doesn't stop, so that's a glitch. That was something that was not fixed in the first and only major patch for this collection. So yeah, unfortunately, this is still kind of messed up. If we use Tails' flight, we can get up to this ledge with another ring. And when we get through this, I realized I was going to say if we get through this, but then it occurred to me that we actually can't fail this because again, we have like over 100 chances at this, so again, if this takes 100 tries, that'd be really sad. But when we get through this, we will have our final Chaos Emerald, actually. Again, it's very easy to get the Chaos Emerald super early, which is nice. I probably won't use Supersonic too much, to be honest. I actually feel like, in a lot of games, Supersonic is a little bit unwieldy because of how fast he goes. I either messed up, I definitely messed up, okay. There has to be a few rings that are not part of any blue spheres, just because the counters, like, doesn't make sense otherwise. So yeah, at some point we'll probably see another group of rings not connected to any blue spheres. I am approaching this from the entirely wrong side. I'm going to do something really dumb. I don't recommend trying this, but I'll try a 2, like, sphere jump there to avoid having to go all the way around this sphere, or this, like, stage to get to the other side of that arrangement. It worked out, but it was definitely a little bit scary there, and this should be the last set. I completely lost count of how many blue spheres were left, I guess. So let's try this again. Hopefully this will go a little bit better. At least, you know, we got through the first stages relatively easily, so if we're gonna mess up on any of the stages, at least we're kind of having trouble with the final ones, which are supposed to be difficult, so it makes sense. Yeah, that's another problem I have. Sometimes, because of the nature of Blue Sphere, I kind of lose track of how many are left because I kind of have to like focus so much on just not running into anything that I can't really keep a close eye on the counter at all times, which is definitely what happened there. I definitely thought the stage was going to end and thus careened straight into a red sphere because I thought the stage was going to auto-end, so that was my mistake there. But yeah, now I know to look out for that this time and dodge that, and we should be good to go. So yeah, we have 9 rings and 15 blue spheres left. That's an odd number, actually. Both odd as in an odd number, but also an unusual number to have in terms of like, because they're usually grouped up. So yeah, having like 15 is actually kind of unusual. So now we have 11, which again, not my favorite thing in the world, but it's probably through here, right? Now we have 4 left that I think are in a group. It's just a matter of actually going through this entire stage, locating this final group. Going through that path of blue spheres also means we've cut ourselves off from an easy avenue, but there we are. So now we can actually relax for a bit and just kind of coast through the rest of our time through Sonic 3, which is very nice. There was something I meant to bring up and I actually completely spaced out what it was. It was about Blue Sphere, I know that much, but I cannot remember what I was about to say. I'll definitely think of it in a bit. I just need to think about it for a moment. We have these little spinning tops here that we can actually use to navigate this area. But also, like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, their speed might be messed up. Like, they might be too fast, actually. Like, the way it just kind of careened off that ledge there. I don't think it's supposed to be that fast. Also, by the way, any giant rings from now on will not take you to a special stage, but will instead give you 50 rings, which is great, because Supersonic needs 50 rings. So yeah, as long as you find a giant ring, you'll be able to very easily turn into Supersonic right away. As usual, Supersonic will drain rings, so use it sparingly and like at good moments where you actually need like the extra like speed or defense, because Supersonic is invincible. I think this took us backwards through the level, actually. Yeah, this is by the one special stage. I'm pretty sure this is also one of the glitchier stages, like in speedrunning, because you can actually perform like a screen wrap, where like if you, on the Genesis version, if you jump at a specific point while ducking to make the camera lower, you can basically just like zip to like a different part of the stage. So yeah, let's try to not mess this up this time. But yeah, their speed does feel kind of messed up here. They're very unwieldy anyway, but it does feel worse in this version from what I recall. But yeah, another thing I meant to bring up about Sonic 3 and the differences between 3 and Knuckles is when the games are not locked on, only Sonic 3 has a save feature. Sonic and Knuckles does not have saving unless you lock the two together. Which is definitely why I played Sonic 3 more than Sonic and Knuckles, and why I actually like it better, and why I think the game is front-loaded, where the best levels are at the beginning, and I definitely prefer the early stages, though I do admit that a lot of Sonic and Knuckles' stages are really good, it's just I don't know them that well, and they're a little bit more frustrating as a result. Sonic did not latch on to the little spinning top, so I ran straight off the ledge. I think I wasn't lined up properly. I don't think that was like an Origins problem. This is definitely one of those cases where this is like a Sonic Adventure where you have to constantly ask yourself, like, is this a glitch for this collection, or is this a glitch in this original game? In that case, I think that might have just been an original game problem. Yeah, I feel like these are like way harder to control than they originally were. There we go, finally. We also have another giant ring up here, so we might as well get back to 50 rings. I think the debris finally stopped, so that's something. I love getting a shield and then immediately running into an object I have no clue will be there. So yeah, in general, that is a problem with Sonic in general. That's not exclusive to Sonic 3. It's actually worse than Sonic 1, 2, and CD, I'd say. But yeah, that is the one thing I don't really like about Sonic level design, is feeling like there are a lot of cheap shots of just, how was I supposed to know that was there? Also, Marble has like an absurd amount of special rings. Like, we've already found like 4 in this zone alone. And I can actually think of a couple more in Act 2. So yeah, if you actually missed out on a lot of the early special rings, this is not a bad place to catch up on emeralds. It's very easy to find the emeralds here. Alright, so next up, we want to go over here, carefully making our way across these little platforms, dodging the spiked enemies, and this should be the end, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So let's actually turn to Supersonic. In this version, it's pressing X in midair. This is the Switch version, so it'd be triangle on PlayStation and Y on Xbox. It is a separate button from jump, so you don't accidentally transform, and so you don't lose out on the drop dash and insta-shield. And there we go, Act 1 complete. I also feel like the stages in Sonic 3, I might regret saying this actually. Never mind, I'm going to hold that thought until the next zone, because I remember the next zone being a little bit of a problem for this, so yeah, I'm gonna resist saying this for now so I don't jinx myself. And now we have more, chaos here. Eggman is basically like drilling through this ancient ruin, which is not great for its structural integrity, and for us because of like making it a little bit harder to get through here. Luckily there are these little signs pointing us along, and we have these little pulleys as well. I feel like Sonic and 3 and Knuckles actually does a good job of introducing gameplay mechanics. So like our first stage, we had like the little spin dash switches and these little like moving top platforms. Now we have the little pulleys more. This is also something incorporated from Mania, that Mania would incorporate as well, like introducing additional gimmicks for Act 2, which is always kind of appreciated to make the stages stand out, and also the Act 2 and Act 1 music is actually different, so each song is remixed slightly, or in some cases somewhat majorly, like Hydro City 2 is quite different in tone, with like, you know, the crushing wall at the very beginning. Hydro City 2's song is a lot more like upbeat at the beginning. It doesn't like build up as much. It just kind of cuts to the point a lot more, fitting that stage. So that's actually something I really like about Sonic 3's soundtrack, is how the music adapts to each stage, which is also a problem as we enter the next zone, but that's coming up very shortly, so we'll talk about it then. Alright, we have all these little spinny spike obstacles here. We also have a bunch of enemies jumping out of the ground, not my favorite thing again, because it feels a little bit cheap. I'm glad that was the bouncy enemy I chose to land on. We also have these little, like, stone faces that are launching arrows at us. I'm pretty sure this path here we need one of those little, like, spinning tops for, so let's head over here for now. Okay, we can break this. I was wondering, because I didn't see the eye right away. Actually, yeah, that cleared up. That moved that platform up so we could actually spin dash. So yeah, you actually spin dash those to move these platforms. I actually don't think I mentioned that directly, that those are like spin dash switches. So yeah, in general, I do like Sonic 3 a lot, but I almost wonder how much of my opinion of Sonic 3 has also been changing, because this has been the primary version I've been playing in order to practice for this playthrough. And because there are some quirks, I definitely wonder how much that is impacting my overall enjoyment of Sonic 3 as a whole, comparable to like Sonic Adventure DX, kind of changing people's perception of how they viewed the original Sonic Adventure. By the way, I'm pretty sure, never mind, this is a different area. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's another ring nearby, but I guess not. Alright, so our second Robotnik sighting. I also realized I alternate Robotnik and Eggman still. I definitely feel like I'm in a unique position as a Sonic fan, because I kind of grew up with both classic and modern, because I started with the Mega Collection, and then like immediately after, picked up Adventure 2. So like I grew up with both eras, so I have a unique appreciation for both, compared to like a lot of classic fans who only grew up with one, and modern fans that only grew up with one. So yeah, I actually like most eras of Sonic as a result. Yeah, that was a case of an enemy not being placed super kindly, but that's okay. Again, I'm not overly concerned about using Super Sonic because I actually find him a little bit unwieldy. The one benefit, obviously, is when you go faster, and 2, you're invincible, but you also drain through rings very quickly, so sometimes I like to hold on to rings. Let's actually transform here. We have a very unique boss fight against Eggman or Robotnik in midair. Never mind, the boss is over already. I did a lot of damage before the fight even began, but yeah, you basically control Tails directly, and can jump to attack, and Tails will rescue you if you fall.